Alright, welcome to part 2. So hopefully you watched the first video where we went out, we actually sketched it. Uh, Basically, what you want to do is uh, treat this more like a diorama when you're out there sketching. And if you notice at the end of the video, I kind of pan across, and you see that all of these elements are a little bit further apart from one another. So what you want to do is basically uh, play with the layout a little bit. You can always make it easier on yourself by drawing small. This is why I start off with little squares like this. Draw little thumbnails and see if I can fit little elements in. So like this would be the house, the horizon line, the hill in the background, the car, the walkway here, the trash can. So this would be like these elements here. Uh, and then step 2 would be just kind of bring this home, and then just to give you an idea here, this was a photo taken of the truck that was in the background. So if you watch the video, you'll see. And basically, what we want to do is just now kind of refine it a little bit better. So you don't have a lot of time while you're out there. We're doing a quick 10-minute sketch. We're stopping wherever we can to see it. And so, yeah, we're just basically now tightening our drawing. So you can work on each element separately at home. So you can kind of just build your art piece. All right, I'm going to show you how I kind of go about that using our reference here. Hopefully you can kind of see it. And same thing, you kind of just don't want to focus too much on the details. Obviously we have a realistic photo here. You want to try not to go too much based off of what you see, rather simplify it. So I'll show you how I do it, and hopefully that gives you an idea so that when you bring your reference photos home, you can kind of do the same. So here we go. First of all, we went through playing with the elements, kind of like a diorama where you play around. You can move them around if you treat it as such. So let's go ahead. Now we're going to draw the truck, and here we go. So I like to start off with at least an idea of the perspective that it's in. So to do that, we kind of just follow. Basically, we're drawing a box to match the perspective that we're seeing here. So for me, it would be like kind of this, where this would be the truck bed, if that makes it easy to understand. So that'd be like the wheel well would go here with the tire, the tailgate that says lifeguard, the license plate, the other tire, and the cabin would be almost the same thing. You're gonna draw another box on top for the cabin. Draw your door here, kind of finish it off, and then we don't see much of the car in the front, so we can kind of just draw the wheel well in with the little box here for the front of the vehicle. There's a surfboard up top with a bunch of other things we can't really tell, so at this point you just kind of want to simplify everything. Just kind of draw more or less what's there. The key is simplifying here. So that'll give you an idea of kind of how to break the truck down. And then if it helps you, you can throw piece of tracing paper on top of this, and then continue to refine your details as you go. But this is just kind of like a basic way that I would break it down. And then once we go to our final drawing, we have a better idea of like what the actual final would look like. So most of these will just be pull-out sheets, trash sheets, just so you can practice. Okay, so I'll be right back. So this is just the basic tracing paper sheet here. Now I can kind of lay this over what I have here and start to finalize the drawing a little bit better. And at this point, we'll be focusing a little bit more on the details. So here we go. We'll start with the tailgate. Hopefully you can see that pretty good here. I'll lay it down a little bit better. And let's see if I can. I'm trying to keep everything in the shot here. Bear with me. Okay. So we'll start with the tailgate. Tail lights, kind of square. You kind of want to go quickly. You don't want to think about it too much. Basic shapes are going to help you out here a ton. So learn to draw three-dimensionally: the square, the rectangle, uh, cones, cylinders, and what's the other shape? Oh, it's like a circle or a ball. So if you learn to draw those basic shapes, that's going to help you out a lot. So the tailgate would look like this. It'll say lifeguard. Draw the license plate, more square. It says a bunch of writing here, but we're going to avoid, like I said, some details. Just go straight in for the tailgate here. Fill that in. The bumper is a little rounded here. Let's just go a little round. And just start laying in like the bigger shapes that you see. So this will be like the plastic part that I see on the tailgate here. We don't see much of the inside or what's on the inside of the truck. Again, we just kind of see a surfboard. Should be on top. The fins. I don't know what that is. At this point, you can just add whatever you think you see. I don't know what this round thing is. Maybe it's the little flotation device that lifeguards use. You know, has got like that handle. I don't know. Just kind of basic what it looks like. Finish off the truck bed here. A square. I see like a plastic fender over the wheel well here. That. This is where your basic shapes come in. So your rim will just be like this cone if you flipped it, or a cylinder if you flipped it on its side. So basic like this, and then you can just fill the tire in. And then we have another one in the shadow, so you can again kind of just basically shade that in, add some shadow, finish off the vehicle in the front. We have a stripe goes along the side, stripe here, a little stripe on the edge, the tailgate handle, and then we have the back of the glass here. And then there's one window here. And it looks like it's tinted, so I'm just, again, just basic shapes. I'm not really thinking too much about the details. This is, we want to get down the main idea of it, you know. Another fender plastic here. Rim, cylinder, wheel. And then we have whatever this thing's called for the cargo, like a roof rail or something. And then this thing has like a logo here, maybe some writing there, a square right here for the rear view mirror. And yeah, so basically that's where you want to go next. Let's kind of play with it. You can do a couple more. I'll show you here. So truck bed. It's just this rectangle cube. Same thing. Back of the glass. One side glass here. There's another one for the driver's side. The roof. The rearview mirror for the truck. The plastic fender. The other plastic fender. The bumper. Tail lights. The writing. Very basic. License plate. The plastic. And you'll see the more you kind of draw it, you kind of memorize the basics of what make up the truck. Kind of just think fast, don't, or move fast, don't think about it too much. Draw the door. It's probably got a small door, handles. And you can play with it. Like here, I'd probably add, maybe what this top thing is like I don't know, flood lamps for when it's at night. You know, like a little rail in the front. This is where you just start having fun with it. There's this middle part. And that could be like surfboard. You can probably draw a line on it. Later, you could add color to that line. Again, the wheels would be like a cylinder, right? Like that. Rims. And then the tires have tread, so you could just kind of pretend to know what you're drawing. That in. Another one here. Some tread. And the timer on this thing turns off. Maybe we could add like a step rail here. Another wheel on the back with some shadow. Truck bed. Separate the lights for the backup lights and the brake lights. They're all different. Amber lights. Yeah, so basically that's part of the fun, building it. Once you have your details done, start to work everything individually so you don't get overwhelmed. That's another tip for you. Uh, so I'll show you here. I have this, I don't know if it's like a bathhouse or just restrooms here. I'll take a picture of it. So here you'll see like the people walking on the walkway, and then we have better detail what that looks like. In the background, there's the lifeguard towers. There's one, two, the hill, some waves, someone on a bike, a couple people walking, trash can in the center there. Let's see. And then in the next photo, in the background, we just have it's what it looks like. Maybe the truck, and this I don't know what you would call. I don't even know what that is. But I just like a construction thing. A couple more trash cans, the water in the background, and so on. So piece by piece, you work on it. This will kind of keep you motivated, so that when you go out and sketch next time, you're kind of thinking about all these things to keep you interested. Sometimes we go out and we sketch and we feel a little overwhelmed by maybe what's going on in the background, or maybe you have so many details that you're trying to focus on. So I would say step one would be keep it loose, keep it small here, work really quickly to get the gist of it. Treat it like a Number two would be to treat it like a sandbox, like a diorama where you can move things around if you need to, erase and redo it like you saw me do in the last video. Um, it took us 10 minutes. There were some dolphins swimming around when we were there, so I kind of just quickly sketched out some dolphins. There were some birds flying around. There was some birds on top of the roof of this bathhouse, bathroom, whatever it was. I just sketched some in. Later on, when you come home, or if you want to go to a coffee shop and kind of continue working on this the same day, that's how I would do it. I would do some loose work on some of the details on some of the elements one by one. Uh, get some tracing paper to kind of help you uh, to kind of lay out something over your guides. So consider the three-dimensional shapes your guides. And yeah, so this is going to wrap up part 2. Part 3, we're going to go into more detail on uh, how to set up a paper, get it ready with your sketch and everything, and then we'll lay some actual paints on it. All right, so join us next time. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, share it with your friends and family, whoever you want to share it with. We would appreciate that to get us out there, and let's make this fun time. Okay, hope you enjoyed. See you next time.